What's going on YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do? And this is a product that I just purchased. It is a few months old at this point. It did come out, I think about 6 or 7 months ago, roughly. But we are just now checking it out for the first time. If you search the Anker 511 on YouTube, there's not very many videos. Most of them are in a foreign language. To me, I'm American, so foreign. Anyways, there's one video actually demonstrating it and then one video showing it off. I wanted to do my take of this product and show you guys some of its features, capabilities, and do a much more thorough video than what I have found on YouTube for people that are thinking about buying this product. If this works out, I will probably buy more of these just because they're so stinking cool. Here we go. Here is the packaging. This is the Anker 511 power bank, the PowerCore Fusion 5K. Model number is A1633. Anker tends to make small revisions. This Anker PowerCore Essential 20K PD is 18 watts. This Anker PowerCore 20K PD is 20 watts. So they make small little revisions. And that's why I want to include the model number and as much information as I can about the product. There's some more data for the UPC and stuff. Let's open this thing up. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to try to not make this video very long. I might fail at that, but I'm really going to try. So there's two different colors to choose from. There is a black one and a blue one. All my power banks are black. Yeah, I don't have enough hands to grab all of them. Some of them are currently charging. I've got the little PowerCore Slim 10K in here, 20 watts. And then I've got the Anker 335 in this one. And then I've got the little 10K Slim over here charging up my watch because it's dead. And this has been my recent most favorite because I'm not worried about it. It's super cheap. I don't care if someone takes it. I'll just buy another one. It's like 20 bucks. And my video, I said if they ever had a sale and it was a pretty decent sale, I would buy a ton of these because this is a little 5K, charges at roughly 12 watts and it outputs roughly 12 watts. So this thing is really neat, but you need something like this Anker Nano 30 watt port here to plug it into the wall and charge it up when you're done with it. So this little guy is not like that. Wow, that's actually got a little bit of weight to it. I'm going to pull out my dusty little scale here just so we can get an idea of how many grams this thing weighs. So it weighs roughly 170 grams. I forget what this is called, but this is Anker 321. I also did a video of it, but it is 131, but it doesn't have its own built-in charger, so that's actually pretty cool. But considering this is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, that is very comparable. That's awesome. It's like 40 grams more, and it comes with its own little charger. And this one does 12 watts output. This one does 20 watts output. All right, so I might make this the thumbnail. Anyways, it's pretty sleek. It looks really nice. It's got a button. It just tells you the current charge status of it. They usually only come with about halfway charged. It's got the prongs that go in and out so that you can carry it. And there's all the data on the back of it. Tells you the volts and amps and watts and all that good stuff. The output is 5 volts, 3 amps, or 9 volts at 2.22 amps. That's how you get the 20 watts. And the input's a little bit weird because it's doing the AC conversion thing to whatever. I got a watt meter. We're going to find out how fast this thing charges. It's pretty sleek. It's got a little carrying strap thing here. It's got this protective film that you can peel off. You got your port there. Some of the people commented about the port and where it's located on an outlet. Hopefully I'm going to remember to get to that. I was going to find some little things I bought on Amazon, and I also found my 2 other power banks. This is what I use to charge up my laptop because it's 65 watts, or I use this because it's 140 watts. So basically what I'm trying to say is I have a lot of power banks. I have a lot of choices. I have a lot of options as to what I'm going to carry on me, and I want to make the best video I possibly can. So I buy all the power banks that I, want to use, and I compare them and I talk about them. So That's why I'm... Anyways, this little thing right here, people talked about how when you have it charging on the wall, the cable doesn't let you use the top outlet. So I was wondering if you did this. Anyways, with these little right angle adapters, I was wondering if that would fix the problem. But oddly enough, that fits in nice and was super duper snug. But the angled ones don't. Maybe a different brand would fit better. I don't know. Those are just something I found on Amazon. So that way you can get the cable to angle out. That way you can have access to that top outlet. 10 years from now, you could be watching this video wondering how the heck this thing works. So let's go ahead and show the instructions while we still have them. So using it as a portable charger, charge phones, tablets, headphones, or other low-powered accessories. Recharge your PowerCore. Plug it into the wall. Pretty simple. The plug may vary depending on the region. Using it as a wall charger. So that's what most people are going to be buying this for. You get to work. You go to the break room. You plug it into the wall. You plug your phone into the cable into your phone. Like, now you're using the wall to charge up your phone while it's also charging the battery inside the power bank. So you leave the break room and you can keep your phone plugged in and still continuing to charge it. So that's awesome. Use an Anker cable, your device's original cable, or another certified cable such as MFI. And there's some more specifications. Customer service information. All right, so we're going to press the button. And it lights up. So it doesn't have the same little 2-tap mode that most Anker power banks include these days. Like this, where you double press it and the light turns green. Right there, the light turns green. Turn it off. Normal charging. Does not look like it includes that. It stays the same color. Okay. We've got this neat little thing that tells us... Oh, okay, it fits. Sweet. It's going to tell us how fast stuff is charging. Anker has these little 1-foot cables, Type-C to Lightning. And that's what you're going to need to charge up an iPhone that has the Lightning port. If you're watching this in the future, you will need something like this to charge up your newer iPhone because they're going to have to switch them over to Type-C by law, which I'm super excited about because then I can charge up my Android and my Apple with the same cable. We're going to plug it in, and then we're going to plug in our phone. You can see that it says it's currently charging, and right there, the charging icon is lit up. And we're currently charging our phone at a pretty good speed. That is not too shabby. 19, almost 20 watts of power going to our iPhone 12 Pro Max. That is pretty friggin' awesome. We've got the 2 bars left. And there's still more to peel. That's a pretty freaking good speed. Now, the other power bank I have that does this is this guy. But this is 65 watts if you plug it into the wall. Or 60, I can't remember if it's 60 or 65. And then it's just 30 watts when you have it as a portable charger. It is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery versus this being 20 watts all the time, and this doing either 65 or 30 depending on whether you have it plugged in or not. So you've got 3 ports to share the 30 watts versus 1 port to do the 20 watts. This one is much bigger and bulkier than this little slim thing. This thing is awesome. It's like the perfect size. So we're charging up our iPhone pretty quickly. What if we introduce the wall outlet? All right, so now we're going to flip out those little prongs, and we're going to connect it to the wall outlet. Okay, it stopped charging for a moment, and it's going to be kind of hard to see the numbers there, but it is currently drawing almost 20 watts from the wall right now. So this is powering our phone through the wall outlet and not through the internal battery. So one of the downsides to this little guy is the same exact drawback you have to this thing. When you plug this into the wall, it's not going to charge the battery in here until it has charged the battery in here. Once it sees that there's no longer power going to your phone because your phone is full, like I will demonstrate that by disconnecting this cable here. And you can see that the numbers reset. And now it is going to almost 12 watts. And the light is actually blinking now, where before it remained solid. So that's not a very fast charge rate. That's equivalent to the charge rate you get with the Anker 321 here, this little very basic charger. So we're going to test and see how long that takes to charge. It says it's going to be about 2.5 hours, but we're going to go ahead and test that here as well. And then when it's fully charged, we're going to take our completely dead Pixel 7 Pro and see just how full it can charge it, if it can get it to 100% on one charge. That's kind of disappointing how slow that's charging. This little guy charges at 20 watts. And the battery in it is full, so it might not even charge it at all right now. And there you go. The tolerances for that are so tight. Like, this thing either goes to the left or goes to the right, but it won't both sides go at the same time. I want it to be angled because when you have the cable like this, people complain. See, look at that. It completely changed the charging. See, if we draw a very small amount of power, like my Pixel Watch here, it's currently charging. It's drawing about 2.5 watts. And now we are charging the battery in here while we're charging our watch, which indicates here by it almost being 15 watts coming from the wall outlet. And the little light is blinking. Kind of disappointed about the slow charge rate. I'm happy that it puts out 20 watts to my phone. Plug in the phone. And you can see that it's charging at 24 watts. Well, 21 now. It's calming down a little bit. And the battery light is solid. When the wall outlet charges our phone up to full, and this thing is no longer putting power out through that USB port, then it will charge up the battery in here. So the downside of that is if you're using this to charge up your phone and it's almost dead, and then you go to the break room and you plug this into the wall outlet, and then you plug your phone into the battery bank, you're using the wall outlet's power and it's not charging the battery in here. So if this battery is almost dead and you leave the break room, well, now the battery in here is still dead. So that's kind of unfortunate that it works that way. It's really great for kind of set and forget environments where you're going to bed. So you plug this into the wall, you plug your phone in. Now it's going to get your phone to 100%. Then it's going to start charging the battery in here at, about 10, 11 watts total. And it's going to take it about 2.5 hours to fully charge the battery in here after it charged your phone. Then when you leave, you unplug it, you have a full phone, you have a full battery, and you use this to charge up your phone as a battery bank later in the day. And then when you get somewhere with an outlet, you just go ahead and unplug your phone from it, chuck it on the outlet, and then now it's going to start charging that battery up. And it's going to do it at a little bit less than 12 watts. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and let this thing charge up my phone the rest of the way and kill it. We'll see how long it takes to charge the battery in here. And then we'll see if the battery in here can fully charge our completely dead Pixel 7 Pro. I'll be right back. Okay, so conclusion. You saw how long it takes to charge this thing up. It got my phone to, I think, 61% from completely dead. Like, it hadn't been turned on or charged in a while. So it got it to 61%. And then I let this thing charge up. The battery here got to like 50 something percent. And then it got it all the way to 100. And there was one little bar left on the light. And it wasn't even flashing. So it wasn't super dead. If it's flashing, it means you're almost dead. And if it's staying solid, then you're, 25% roughly. This is not an ideal power bank to completely charge up a device all the way from dead to full. If that's the case, then you'll want to get the PowerCore Slim 10K or the PowerCore Redux 10K, which does 25 watts output and it charges at 18 watts. Since this charges at, anywhere between 10 and 11 watts, it does take it a while to charge. In fact, my Anker 535 that I keep in my jacket, so this little guy right here, the Anker 535 20K with 30 watts of output and 30 watts of input. See, it's charging it. See, right here it says 33 watts on the wall outlet. If we use a watt meter, it's going to tell you the difference, what you're actually getting compared to what the wall says. So there we go. We're actually getting 30 watts of input into this power bank right now. And with this guy, you're going to get about 10 to 11. So to put that into perspective, you're going to be able to charge this thing up faster than you can with this guy. And this is 20,000. This is 5,000. This is 30 watts of output. This is 20 watts of output. This has two USB-C that can do 15 watts each, or 30 watts for one, and it also has a USB-A. But this does increase how much you're carrying. This weighs more, and you have to carry a separate power brick. So the power bank, the charger, and the cable, you're looking at 401. With this guy, you're just needing to carry this around and this. So you're looking at less than half the weight. That is less than half the freaking weight. But this is for charging multiple devices or one device multiple times. This is more for bringing your phone from, 30, 40, 50% to 100%. And depending on how big the battery of your phone is, if you have a little phone like an iPhone 12 mini or 13 mini, then this will more than charge up that little tiny battery in there. But if you got a phone with a big battery, then you're not going to completely charge it. Now, this is the Anker 321, and if you were to carry this around, and this around, and that around, you're still looking at 179 grams. This is actually less. And this does 20 watts of output. This does 12 watts of output. And this does the same amount between 11 and 12 input as that does input. So this is definitely a better buy than this thing right here. A 20 watt output actually charges your phone very fast. If they ever made this where the charger could charge the battery in here simultaneously with your phone, then this would be a brain dead decision. Buy this. Don't freaking go buy something like this and this and this. If the battery here is dead and you have limited time to an outlet, such as a 30-minute lunch or something like that, you would plug this into the wall outlet and charge your phone, but it's going to be charging your phone, not the battery in here. So this would be a better solution in a way, because it can charge your phone 30 watts versus 20 watts. This is the perfect situation for you have time and you plug this into the wall and you plug your phone into this guy, and then it tops your phone battery off. Then it tops the battery off in here. Then you leave and you've got 5,000 milliamp hours, a fully charged phone, and you have a wall outlet right here in case the battery in here dies. That's where this is going to be the most beneficial. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or didn't enjoy the video, please leave a rating below. And please also let me know why in the comments you liked or didn't like this video. For the $40 price tag, that's actually not too bad, because if you bought this for like $20 to $25 and then you bought this for, $18 to $20, well, now you've spent just as much as this guy right here. Thank you very much for watching. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.